And we're back. This is TheJewphin with the Geekly Grind. I'm here with Ryan Loudy of Armor Games Studios, and we're talking about Infectinator 3 Apocalypse. Can you tell me a little bit about what the game is?
Yeah, Infectinator 3 is a zombie apocalypse simulator where you are actually the captain of Team Zombie. You are the one trying to wipe out humanity and end us all.
So, what were the inspirations for this game? I know it's got a lot of that Plague Inc. feel to it of trying to infect different countries.
Yeah, Infectinator is actually a long-standing Flash series. This new one is the first time we've taken it to Unity and to Steam. It's definitely got its roots in other games like Plague Inc. and Pandemic, but this one takes a much more micro view. You're able to actually infect individual towns and set zombies just on street corners and watch the havoc that commences.
Tell me a little bit more about the zombie creation, because that was a really fun part of the game, was kind of adding more zombies to the arsenal and then watching them as they wreak havoc.
Yeah, as the game goes on, you will passively collect generic zombies, shamblers, the kind you see in The Walking Dead. However, you can take these zombies, put them in a blender with a little bit of special sauce, and get different special zombies. These zombies can do everything from be far more effective at infecting people. They can spawn poison hamburgers that will turn other people into zombies. Some will look like characters that you will probably recognize from movies, TV, and politics. And they all have different powers that change how you will play the game.
It does feel like it's got that really tongue-in-cheek tone. What were you aiming for when you were designing the game, when you were designing basically how the reporters talk about everything?
So, the Infectinator series has always had a bit of irreverence with regard to how a zombie apocalypse would actually go down. And depending on how you play the game, humanity may choose to just not acknowledge it for a really long time because they just don't want to believe that this is actually happening. However, you can also go the other way where after 3 rounds, even every civilian has a gun in their pocket and they're just looking out for blood.
Well, all right, so tell me about that. You've got this panic level designed into the game.
Yeah. So the panic level is all about how humans are reacting to this plague. When it's lower, people are just going to assume that everything is an isolated incident. And as the panic level rises, humanity's response will rise. Police response time will be reduced. And things like the military will start showing up. It eventually gets to the point where, like I said, every civilian and their child has a gun. And your best bet for actually infecting the world is going to be dealing with them in ways that don't involve just dropping a single zombie down, but instead creating a horde.
Now, how do you keep that panic level down, especially in those early stages?
It's all about spreading wide as opposed to tall. If you try and go really deep with an infection in one area, it's going to increase that area's panic level, which will make all the panic levels nearby rise at a higher rate.
So your goal is to basically do a little bit in every place, and then you can start building up in like a specific spot to take that one over.
That's one way to do it, but sometimes you're short on time. Sometimes humanity is close to a cure, and you are forced to start doing things that you may not be happy with, but it's the only way to survive, or make sure no one does.
Now, is the design of the game to be able to go through a full gameplay loop in, half an hour or an hour?
It's much closer to 2 or 3 hours. I personally had games that I've been trying to go very slow with that have lasted a couple days. It's very much up to you how you want to take this challenge on. And you can customize each individual, like your basic zombie, to have higher speed, more health, whatever. And all of these will change how you can infect the world.
So when does this game release?
The game is actually already out. It's available for Steam on PC and Mac. And you can also pick it up on Good Old Games, on goodoldgames.com.
Do you have any plans for it down the road?
We're looking at mobile versions. However, we have nothing concrete to talk about yet.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Have you ever thought about taking over the world? Who hasn't? You gotta start small. A few bites here, a few disembowelments there. Spread the panic, grow that fear. Feed on it. Feed on brains. Take your army of green gobblers and conquer new lands filled with juicy meatbags. Oh, but watch out. The living like to stay that way, so they will come after you. They'll try to stop your beautiful crusade. blow them all to bits and munch on their skull candy. Take care of your little biters by unlocking enhancements to grow them stronger, faster, bitier, or just plain weird. Breed them into terrible abominations that will soon cover the earth with their rotten flesh and won't stop until every single living thing is infected. You shall be the herald of the green apocalypse of undeath! Infectinator 3. Apocalypse. Who needs humanity anyway?